Hey there and happy Friday. It is March 21st and it is big agent meeting time. Today we have a great show lined up for you. We have the one and only Holly Mabery going to be talking with brokerage market update stuff information for you for what the brokerage is doing. And then we're going to follow that up with Cindy Nixon talking about Revenos and what Revenos is up to. I've got a list here with Dianne Calix for onboarding. She's going to be doing some onboarding updates. You guys are going to want to hear that and hear what's going on with onboarding. And then we're going to finish up with Brian Hoialman from Lofty talking about what Lofty's got on the page for you guys and next level things coming out of that company. So with that, I'd like to kick off today with our market minute. And today's market minute, I want to go a little bit different here. One of the things that I do for market minute stuff is I always have something I've got in my back pocket. Not always literally, but actually a lot of times it is actually in my back pocket. So let me show you this. Check this out. See what this is? This is a great little graphic that I pulled off of Facebook. If you have not subscribed to and or liked or following NAR Research, NAR Research, one of the things that I love about NAR, one of the things that they do really well is doing research and having statistic stuff. So what I want you to do is take a look at this graphic here so you guys can see what I'm looking at on my phone. And what I want you to look at on here is, did your eyes automatically go towards where your state is? Okay, this is a list of home price appreciation since COVID arrival. So it's a percentage of change in home prices from 2020 Q1 to 2024 Q4. So basically, since COVID up until the end of last year, this has got the number of the percentage of change in pricing since COVID. Check this out. Florida, 70.9. Look at Maine. Do you guys see Maine up there in the top corner? Maine, 73.1%. Incidentally, everybody's like Austin, Texas, and Texas is exploding. Well, 50.9, not bad, but nowhere near what Maine is. Look at Montana. Look at Idaho. Check out Arizona. Arizona's actually moving pretty hard. And then, of course, look at California at 44.7. You see, here's what happens. As soon as I show this to you and as soon as I pull this out and I ask you the question, your brain automatically goes to whatever state you're in and then any other state that's important to you. So what I want you to start thinking is, what are some of the things that I can have at my fingertips while I'm having conversations with people to talk with them about something real estate? So let's go into a little more in depth today than we do normally in a market minute. This is market minute. It's going to be more like market 10 minutes because I want to make sure you guys have this in your personal toolkit to be able to take your business to the next level. All right, so let's start off with this. First things first, you are going to have this interaction. I've built my career around training on this one thing over and over and over. And if you see me on stage, most of the time I'm going to get to this at some point. It is super important for you to know what's going on in the market. And here's the reason why. If you haven't seen me say this, listen up close because this is super important. Is there anything else when you meet people, they ask you what you do, you say you're in real estate, and the next words out of their mouth are some version of, how's the market? Almost every single time, right? And you may have seen me talk about this before. The problem is in the real estate business, we've been taught to do an elevator pitch when somebody says, how's the market? They teach us to do an elevator pitch. So you'll have some variation of, oh, my job as a real estate agent is to help sellers get top dollar for their house and help buyers find the home of their dreams, or whatever version. I'm goofing with you, but you get the gist, right? It's some version of something to try to get a hook, to try to get them to want more information. However, what we have found is typically when we do some version of an elevator pitch, typically they don't come to us. So I was on stage a couple weeks ago and I said, who in the history of doing your elevator pitch, they asked you what you do, you said you're a real estate agent, they say, how's the market? And you do your elevator pitch, right? And then the person looks at you and says, oh my gosh, tell me more. When has that ever happened? Has that happened to any of you guys or some version of that? And, every once in a blue moon, somebody will put their hand up, right? But the reality is what we've been taught to do and continue in this industry to teach people to do does not actually work on normal human beings. It makes it kind of weird and yucky a lot of times. Because here's the thing, when you're doing an elevator pitch, the elevator pitch isn't to actually tell them or sell them anything. It's to actually get them to give you their information. Okay, cool. I get it, right? I like that you're not just trying to get something from them or trying to get them to buy or sell a house. The goal is to get their information. The problem is if I enter into a relationship with the way humans work, and the first thing I do when asked a question is try to get something from somebody, they spot it. They spot it right out of the gate. They can smell it, right? They know you're trying to get something from them. And instead of them coming to you, they typically will be more resistant to you and going away from you. So it's kind of funny. So there's two ways you can answer this question. So what I want to do is not just tell you, hey, by the way, we got a problem, we got to do it different. When I tell you we got a problem, we got to do it different, I'm going to give you some suggestions that actually freaking work in this world, okay? So here's option number one, okay? Option number one is I want you to offer them a market update, okay? So when somebody says, hey, Russ, how's the market? You're a real estate agent, how's the market? I'm going to offer to give them exactly what they just asked for. So you know what? Juan, great question. People ask me all the time what's going on in the market. I have a market update I just did last week that tells you what's going on in the market. You want me to send it to you? And Juan is going to say what? Almost every single time. He's going to say, yeah, I'd like that. You just asked me for something. I offer to give you what you just asked me for. And then naturally, they're going to want to say yes. See, here's the thing, guys. Sales 101. If you have something people want, they're going to want it. If somebody asks you for something and you offer to give it to them, chances are they're going to say yes, they want it. Now, here's the fun part. The ultimate goal in this interaction is to get their information. I can totally agree with that. However, I want them to voluntarily give me the information because I have something they want. Now they want to give me their info because it's the way to get them what they want. Again, this is about getting them something that they want. And when you make it about them and how they do things and how they move through the world, you're going to find that people actually are more likely to come towards you. This interaction sets up a scenario where now people actually want to have more communication with you versus running from you. Now, this can kick off a number of different conversations in a number of different directions. I like to keep it fairly loosey-goosey. I've got some market stats in my head, but I don't want to dump and unload everything I know about the market on them. This would be a great place to add one of the things I like about doing an elevator pitch. This is a great place to add something along the lines of, hey, are you thinking about doing something? Are you thinking about buying or selling? Or are you just curious? Now you've asked them a question, you can get a little more detail. I'm not going to push the conversation because realistically for me, this is already a win. Do they really want to know what's going on in the market? Probably not. If you gave them a quick high-level buzz by of a couple of stats, that right there would be absolutely priceless, okay? So this brings us to technique number two, okay? Technique number two would be to take that same slide that we just threw up, the thing I have on my phone. I have these saved in my favorites, and it's kind of funny because in my favorites, I will be able to pop this open my favorites, scroll down a touch, and I will say to them something along the lines like, you know what, funny enough, I've got this in my phone. Let me show it to you real quick. We're in whatever state. I'm in Michigan, right? So by the way, we're in the state of Michigan. So in the last 5 years, do you know how much houses have appreciated in the state of Michigan in the last 5 years? And they're going to be like, no, I have no idea. It's like 55.3%, which means if you have a $300,000 house, that house is now worth an additional $150,000+ over the last 5 years. That is amazing, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, by the way, you ever think about moving to Florida? Florida went up by 80.9%. Check this out. And then I don't just tell them, I show them. And I'll turn it around and I'll show that to them. So a couple of things that happen now. The one thing you're going to have is say, this is going to build credibility. And number two, when you show them something, they don't have to just rely on your own personal credibility. It's your credibility and your ability to give them a statistic or give them something that makes sense and make their brain go, huh, I didn't know that. By the way, guys, I use this technique all the time. I use it with realtors all the time. And when I say to the realtors, like, hey, by the way, do you know how much the state of Michigan has appreciated in the last 5 years? And they're like, no, I don't know. I was like, cool, let me show you, 55.9%. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, any other states you want to know the number on? And the next thing you know, they're like, well, what about Ohio? What about Indiana? What about Illinois? So it gets conversation going and it gets things moving in the right direction. And now they're asking you to talk like an expert. Do you see, just in the way I answer this helps me build credibility, helps me build a scenario where they think I know what I'm talking about. It helps me sound like an expert. I'm not trying to sales pitch them anything. And then they voluntarily give me their information because they want to stay on the list to be staying updated on what's going on in the market update. And then I'll say towards the end, I say, by the way, I send the market update out every month. You don't have to check it every month, but every 6 or 7 months, I want to take a look at that thing. If you had a stock that was $350,000, you'd probably check on it once in a while, wouldn't you? Or you'd have a financial guy checking on it for you once in a while, right? It's the same thing. So just pop in there, check on it once in a while. If the numbers are really moving, you're going to hear me talking about what's going on in the market. All right, so there you go. A couple techniques, 2 that you can use when you're out and about doing stuff you love. How's the market? Glad you asked. I've got a market update. Or glad you asked. I got a market update. Want me to send it to you? Yeah. By the way, here's something I found really interesting. Do you know how much the average house in Michigan has appreciated in the last 5 years? Boink, all right, off my phone, show it to them. Now I've got a couple of things that help me add credibility and sound like an expert, not a panhandler. I love that about this business, is that we all have the ability to improve as we go along. These are lessons learned the hard way, guys. So there you go. This helps you be more human when you're interacting with humans, and people are going to start coming to you instead of you chasing them all the time. So there you go. Market minute update with a little more than a minute. I hope you guys found that valuable. All right, next up, Ian Wheatley, KGCI Radio Update. Ian Wheatley, take it away.
Hey, thanks for checking in to KGCI Real Estate on Air during today's big agent meeting. And a big thank you to all of you that have been checking out our Tuesday show, Real Estate on Air, live each week. It's been a lot of fun for me to spend that time with you, and I've especially enjoyed hearing your real estate confessions. These are your stories from the wild world of real estate, from showing the wrong house and causing a panic over squatters that weren't. They were the owners, they lived there, to clients falling into pools. It's been a lot of fun, and honestly, it's been a little bit affirming to know that we as agents are not alone with all those hijinks that ensue while we're out in the field. So if you missed Tuesday's episode, we're going to be bringing it back to you immediately following today's big agent meeting over on KGCI Real Estate on Air as we kick off our weekly Friday focus. Because this week, it's all about mastering our time. If we aren't running our day is going to run us. And it's going to ride us hard. It's going to put us up wet. And if you want to build your business, we got Coach Stuart Hislop all the way from South Africa, who's going to be sharing the 7 borderless specific strategies that you could implement into your day today to conquer your time. We'll also be sharing strategies that are going to allow you to take some time off this summer, because who doesn't want to do that? And also how your day and week should be structured to maximize your success. So be sure to scan the code that's coming up on your screen right now and join us immediately following today's big agent meeting for the productivity hacks that you need to know today on KGCI Real Estate on Air.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Ian Wheatley. If you guys haven't jumped on KGCI Radio, I jump on Spotify, type it in, boom, listen to it while I'm fiddling around in my workshop. So check out KGCI Radio. Great stuff always going on KGCI Radio. All right. Next up, we have Brokerage Ops Update from the one and only, one of my favorite people in EXP, Holly Mabery. Take it away, Holly.
Thanks, Russ. You know, there have been so many incredible headlines the last few weeks, kind of shaking the real estate industry. And some of them are even getting picked up by mainstream media. But this is what I want you to know. Headlines and a shift, I've got you covered. So as we break things down, it's really important because a lot of these came at us really fast and furious. The mergers, the acquisitions, the Department of Justice, and of course, the Federal Reserve met this week. What I want you to know is this. It's really important that we're aware and that we see the headlines, we kind of understand them. But at the end of the day, how does this impact your day-to-day? And this is something I wanted to zero in on because it's so incredibly important. Now, the mergers, they were a big deal, and they're going to continue to be a big deal. And we're going to talk a lot about those. Leo's been talking a lot about them, and we're going to bring you more information. But let's talk about the Department of Justice and Clear Cooperation. Some people call it CCP. We're expecting that the National Association of Realtors, the executive committee, is going to be coming together here in the next 10 days or so and give us feedback as far as if they're going to update the rule. So what does this mean for you and I? Well, right now, in most multiple listing services, we have to enter our new listing before we advertise it, put a sign in the yard to the public within the same business day. And so if you list something on a Saturday, it's got to be in by Monday. Okay, great. This is what's been so interesting is behind the scenes, other competitors have been talking about, hey, Department of Justice, they're anti-CCP. They think it's terrible. Well, that's not quite what they've been saying. So then the lawsuit this week called No Select versus MLS PIN, they basically put a footnote out there that said, hey, industry participants, they've been making public statements. And basically, we've not weighed in on CCP. In fact, we think it's out of context, some of the conversations that have been had. So we're not taking a standalone position. We're going to be watching it. And we think that anything that would promote larger brokerages not promoting their listings could be anti-competitive. Now I'm summarizing. I've got the actual text here for you. Why does this matter? When we look at the MLS landscape, things are happening and decisions are being made locally at your MLS that impact how you and I advertise on the multiple listing service. Doesn't matter if you are up in New Jersey at a part of Bright MLS, or you're in Seattle, Washington, part of Northwest MLS, or even down in Houston, part of HAR. All of them are approaching it just slightly differently. So what does this mean to your day-to-day? Well, we know this. Industry change is coming, absolutely. The mergers, particularly with the rumored mergers, as well as what we've seen with Redfin and Rocket Mortgage. Redfin is a really great app that a lot of people use. And how consumers have ease, that's the key in all of this. So what I want you to do, see, I can't compete on my own. I do it with a larger group, and that's why we're part of EXP. Showcasing those options that we have for our clients make all the difference in the world. Those tools in your toolbox, what we provide. So as we work together, all 65,000 agents across the United States coming together, we use things like EXP Access. We use the toolkits that we have for buyers and sellers. We use all of the different things. If you're using, could be KV Core. You're showcasing the options to help make your seller's experience and your buyer's experiences better. But this is the other thing I know. Relationships matter. How you and I show up, what it looks like, and how we take care of our clients at that higher level makes all the difference. See, you and I giving people choice and explaining what it means, it doesn't matter what happens with CCP. See, you and I are going to give them a choice and articulate through the decisions they make that are best for their family, because we're going to give them all the options, not just the one that serves our own purpose. Now, this is where I love switching locally, because we can talk about headlines, but the shift is real. It's kind of like going to the beach and you're barefoot and the wave comes in and that pulls out and you're a little bit lower in the sand. You know that feeling I'm talking about? If you have it, next time you go to the beach, it's one of my favorites. What's happening locally, the market shift, there's a little bit of mission creep happening right now. So there's 4 key things I want you to be watching. First is going to be days on market. If you're starting to see listings creep above 30 days, that's a telltale sign that obviously they're not priced well, but also what else is going on in the market. We did see listings increase through January, February. Now, our foot traffic was way up in December. We saw a lot of sales. Foot traffic has started increasing week over week the last few weeks, which has been really great. But what's happening for you locally? And this is where I love all the MLSs that are providing lockbox access that are saying, hey, this many lockboxes were accessed last month or last week. That's really good data to know. Now, the price adjustments, what I want you to look at is not just, hey, how much was the last adjustment? I want you to look at the original list price versus the actual under contract and sales price. If I'm going out to take a listing right now, I'm looking at that differential. It makes the biggest difference as I'm consulting with the seller and helping them make a decision on where they want to list. What makes a difference as they go forward? Now, location is also weaving into all of this. New Jersey, you guys have a very tight inventory, as well as other markets throughout the US. But in Arizona, we've been steadily increasing with 2 to 3 months inventory. And down in Southeast Florida, they're looking at 4+ months. And what's been so interesting is it's mainly condos. We're seeing insurance coming into play. We're seeing HOA fees adjust. All of those things are impacting what is happening. And so location, yeah, it's playing into all of this. Now, finally, timing to know. We've seen some shifts in the market the last few months. And it may take us about 4 months to determine if we've moved from a seller's to a buyer's market. The reason being, it could take 30, 40, 50 days to get under contract right now. And if it takes that long, okay, great, we're under contract. And then does it take 30 days to actually close and then to register that sales price? My goodness, we're easily 90 days in. The reason I'm sharing this with you is if you look from January 1 forward at everything on the market, gosh, we're about 90 days in. What's under contract? What's happening for you locally? This is something that Dr. Yun shared with us this week. He was a guest of ours here at EXP, and it was so super helpful. The average mortgage rate in early March, something that he called out that I thought was fascinating. The 30-year mortgage, the average conventional, is a little bit higher than the 15. Well, that's typical. But check out FHA and VA. Those are some of the most affordable mortgages right now. So if you're working with second home or first-time home buyers, or maybe that incremental move up, they should be pricing FHA and VA against the 30-year. Now, the key to the kingdom on this, FHA, we know that you're paying private mortgage insurance, and also that interest rate is for the life of the loan, even if you get that loan to value under that 80%. But it's one to watch right now because refis can always happen later on. If I'm working with a first-time home buyer, I want them to look at all of their options. Maybe we do go FHA. Maybe we do a rate buy down. Maybe we take that money and invest it for later, thinking about if rates adjust here towards the end of the year or even into next. The Fed this week, they're not quite ready to adjust rates. They did signal they're probably going to meet at least a couple more times this year, and we're likely looking at rate adjustments, but everything depends on inflation. And inflation is not down at that 2% yet. Now, the other thing along that lines is Fannie and Freddie. Yeah, they're going to hold pretty steady as far as the Fed and through the rest of the year. What does that mean for you and I as we're talking with buyers and sellers? Well, if I'm a buyer in this market, do I want to wait until next year? I absolutely can. Affordability is different for everybody, and buying something that keeps you affordable is absolutely critical. The other thing I'll say, I want you to have good conversations with your buyers and sellers. So I wanted to give you 4 key tips to do that. With your sellers, are we pricing for time or money? Because if you want to maximize your money and your equity out, we probably need to get that price as close to perfect. I want to look at everything that went under contract in the last 30 days. That's the sweet spot in a shifting market. Also, online is the new curb appeal. So if I can't tell the story of your house or your property in the first 5 pictures, I'm missing an opportunity. I've got to grab those people. What does it look like? Can I tell the story articulately that way? For buyers, I'm going to focus on how you live. We know interest rates are still a little bit higher. It could be a little bit uncomfortable. So tell me how you're going to live. What does it look like? A lot of buyers right now are not willing to sacrifice on repairs. They want the property almost turnkey, but they're willing to go smaller or less expensive. And so that's important. The other thing I want you to think about in challenge your buyers, always ask, what is it important to you in the context of purchasing the property? So always ask for what's important. That rate buy down, closing costs, gosh, repairs, ask. And then be flexible, because if somebody says no, are you willing to walk away? That is important in this market. As we go through the summer, I really think we're going to continue to see shifting, and every market is going to be so local. What happens in New Jersey is not going to happen in Colorado. What happens in Portland, we're probably not going to see down in Alabama. So it's really important to have these conversations, take national headlines and make them personal. What does that look like? Well, let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you keep your business going, knowing there's all this external pressure. There's lots of headlines. I want you to focus on you. So the best thing you can do every day is I want you to invest in your past clients by giving your time to them. Give them a call. Call at least 5 past clients every day. And that's the best way to spend your time. Ask for the business. See how they're doing. Ask them about the property. Odds are you will come across in one of those 5, at least one who's willing to refer you and has somebody actively thinking about buying or selling right now. Local businesses, invest in them right now. Local businesses are hurting. They're not quite sure what's going on. Consumer confidence is a little bit wonky. And so help your local businesses. They have a specialty going on. If the farmer's market has started, all of those things that you drive and tell people about other businesses, you all get what you give. So the more you give to others and pour into their business, it comes back. Finally, I want you to invest in you. Never stop learning. AI is a great tool right now, but learn how to use it. What prompts should you be using? Books, podcasts. I turn my car into a driving library. I'm always learning. And then, of course, study that MLS data. That list of sales price, I'm telling you, there's gold in there for conversations you'll need in the future. Finally, I want you to work not just on your business or in your business, but on it. I want you to take one system or tool a month and what needs to be refined, what needs to be upgraded. If your workflows are a little bit odd, throw them through ChatGPT. See what can be better for you and how you can respond. The best thing you and I can do right now, the headlines, be aware. Things are changing. They always do. That's real estate. It feels a little fast and furious right now. But the more you and I are students of not just our industry, but the market, the better off we all are. I'm going to do my best every Friday to continue to bring you everything I'm learning, everything I'm learning from the industry. I know Leo's doing it, Wendy's doing it, all of your brokers. We want to empower you as you go out and meet with your next client to give them the absolute best. Guys, we are here for you always because we're where the pros go to grow. Thanks, guys. Happy Friday. Russ, back to you.
All right, there you go. Holly Mabery, always adding value. She always brings great stuff. And I love the fact that she always brings cool, well-developed slides. I do whiteboard. She does slides. She's great at that. I really like doing this because it's the way I communicate. So Holly, thank you as always every week for bringing really great stuff to our people. All right, so next up we have the person that you may or may not even know of. We have Cindy Nixon, easy for me to say, who is actually the person that is facilitating the Revenos programs. If you don't know what Revenos is, Cindy Nixon is going to tell you about some of the things going on in Revenos now. Here's a Revenos update with Cindy Nixon.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I'm thrilled. My name is Cindy Nixon. I am the Senior Director of Global Mobility with EXP and the Revenos division. Revenos is all about third-party referrals brought to our EXP agents. We offer free certification, and the books of business and divisions that are housed under Revenos are corporate relocation, transferees that are being asked to move for their job, and they've got some benefits that they will be receiving for that portion of the transfer. We also have our affinity book of business, which is our third-party referral generation. Clients like Rocket, Home Story, just to name a few. We've launched a exclusive with Built Rewards, and then we have REO and our investment services division, which is all about working with our investors, bank-owned asset management companies, and things like that. But we are thrilled to announce that Bundle Select, as of next Monday, this coming Monday, just a few more days, is going to be relaunched and rebranded as EXP Realty Rewards. And if we want to go with the white label, non-EXP, it's going to be Expert Realty Rewards. We've got the same powerful platform, elevated tools, the same certified expert agents, exclusive rewards for your consumers. For our current subscribers, this means more ways to maximize your business and serve your clients at the highest level. We are taking this platform to new heights, ensuring that you have the best real estate and moving services at your fingertips. For those of you that haven't signed up yet, now is the time. Expert Realty Rewards is an easy, value-driven tool to strengthen your relationship with your sphere of influence, helping them save on real estate services while enhancing your business. You ask yourself, why should you get on board? You can offer your clients a seamless home buying and selling experience, define yourself with exclusive customer rewards, and leverage a powerful platform that enhances your value as an agent. This relaunch is just the beginning. We're here to help you elevate your business, strengthen client loyalty, and grow your influence. So if you are already subscribed, drop in a comment to us. Let us know what you love about the platform. And we are also going to provide you with a link to sign up if you would like to get in on this relaunch and rebrand. We've got an email set up. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Expert Realty Rewards at exp.net for any details. Next week, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a brand new playbook to launch for our subscribers. We're going to have brand new branding, and our marketing division has worked very, very hard over the last few months to come up with new logos, new material. We've got great scripting to kind of help you guys utilize this tool to go out into your communities and bring in the business. So it is time to unlock the full potential of Expert Realty Rewards and take your real estate business to the next level. Some things to look for next week is on Monday, we are going to relaunch. Any of the current subscribers that we have with their clients, it is going to be a seamless way. You're not going to have to do anything. Clients are going to be redirected to a brand new website. We're going to have collateral that you can go out and have talking points to your clients. It's going to be a great opportunity to reach back out and re-engage with those clients that you may have not talked to in the last couple of months. And on Tuesday, we are going to be having a mastermind with our board, our agent advisory board for Expert Realty Rewards. And they are going to bring some success stories, some talking points, and just walk us through what's worked for them and how they've been so involved in this relaunch and rebrand. It's going to be a great time. This is going to be invite only. So again, sign up. If you're not a member already, sign up so that you can be part of this great mastermind. On Thursday, we are doing our brand new Expert Realty Rewards certification. Again, did I mention we do not charge? Revenos does not charge our agents for any of the certifications that we have. So if this is something that you've been wanting to get yourself involved in, if you want to reap the benefits of the Expert Realty Rewards clients that come through, and the agent that generated the account is unable to work that referral, whether it's out of their area or just a time constraint that they are on, our certified Expert Realty Rewards agents will be the ones that will get the consumer and be able to work that referral. If you're not certified, you're not eligible to get any of these additional opportunities that Expert Realty Rewards is going to offer. So we've got a lot planned for next week. I would love to show you guys the new playbook, some of the new clients tools that we've got, and most importantly, it's all about real estate and moving services and the rewards that we can give to consumers in our communities. We are going to be partnering with, in Q3 and Q4 of this year, some amazing partners that we are going to be able to elevate the rewards that your consumers may get. So, we've brought in some moving partners. We've brought in some storage collateral partners. We are going to be working, continuing our partnership with Success Lending. Success Lending is also going to be very heavily involved in this relaunch and making sure that consumers have their financing needs met and are able to, on a home purchase or refi, offer some great rewards to the consumers that come through this platform. So it's going to be an amazing time. I look forward to continuing to grow the platform. Revenos is your solution for opportunity when it comes to leads and referrals. And we're thrilled to be here in 2025. It's going to be a great year. So stay tuned and check us out next week. There's going to be a lot going on. I thank you guys so much for allowing me to come forward and share this exciting news for you guys. And here's to Next Level Real Estate, EXP agents, client value, growing our business, and Expert Realty Rewards. Thank you so much. Back to you.
All right, there you go. Now you know more. Isn't it amazing? EXP has a lot of programs available at your fingertips. We have so many things, and people say, oh my gosh, Russ, I didn't know we had that. So make sure you look up Revenos, jump in workplace, chat, workplace, hit Cindy Nixon up, and or get some certifications, get some knowledge, get some information, and get some leads generated, driven to you from Revenos, part of EXP companies, which is pretty cool. All right, so next up, we've got some updates and some amazing things happening in onboarding. Dianne Calix is going to tell you what's going on in onboarding. You're going to love this. Take it away, Dianne.
Thank you so much for the introduction, and hello, everyone. It's great to be back at BAM. The last time I was here, I joined Jessica Brown to announce the nationwide launch of our live agent startup sessions, EXP tools and resources. Today, I'm here with Derek Bosch, Expert Care Desk Senior Concierge from the Expert Care Desk Department, as we both have some amazing announcements for you. I'm beyond excited to announce that our live agent startup sessions are now available in Spanish starting March 28th. Introducing Presentación de Inicio en Vivo para Agentes Inmobiliarios, led by the incredible Amy Abralde and Betty Menendez as our presenters. These sessions will be held every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Así que vengan con su cafecito en mano for a productive Friday morning. Now, EXP agents can choose to register in their preferred language, English or Spanish, for a fully interactive experience. This flyer you see here is our live agent startup session in English, which is available from Monday through Friday with 3 time slots each day. These sessions cover everything you need to know about our EXP platforms from Okta, MyEXP, SkyScope, EXP World, and more. Plus, we highlight essential benefits like Canva marketing, ordering your free business cards, healthcare, Regis office access, and incredible training to your benefit. Just here setting you up for success from day one. Now, these sessions are hosted on a Google Meet in a small group setting, offering just hands-on guidance and a live Q&A. You're probably wondering how to register. Well, new agents receive a Calendly sign-up via email and text within 24 hours of activation. Now, existing agents can just register through our EXP events and training calendar website, which will be found under our US Getting Started tab for the English version and our US Español for the Spanish. Now, you'll also find within this section for the Spanish all of our Spanish language training sessions, which is available for our EXP Realty agents. Now, who should attend? Everyone. Whether you're a new agent, existing agents, or just looking for a refresher, an admin, and even a TC, this session is for you. So don't wait and just register today with Onboarding Desk. Now, we also know that flexibility is key. So we're happy to announce that we're currently working on an on-demand library, which will be coming soon. So stay tuned for that as well. Agents will also have the option to attend our live sessions or access training at their own pace, making it even easier to revisit materials whenever needed. You guys, this is a huge game changer for the onboarding experience at EXP. So help us spread the word, register, and experience it yourself firsthand. But that is all from me. And now I'll hand it over to Derek for our Expert Care Desk announcement.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dianne. Good morning. Buenos dias to all of our amazing agents here today. And thank you for inviting us to your BAM event. As was mentioned, my name is Derek Bosch, and I'm a senior bilingual Expert Care Desk concierge from the Expert Care Desk bilingual department here in the world, where we provide assistance in Spanish and French, which leads to our big news, right, for our Spanish-speaking agents, that we're truly pleased to announce that we've heard your requests and suggestions, and in response, EXP has created the Expert Care Desk bilingual department here in EXP World, a department dedicated to providing live assistance in Spanish for any questions, concerns that agents may have about EXP and their real estate business. Here, you will find myself and my colleagues Yanni Hernandez, Stephanie Calix, who are always ready and available to assist you in Spanish, and also Caitlin Thibbert for assistance on our French side. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. In your new Expert Care Desk bilingual department, we offer support in 4 key areas. First, we provide support with the application and onboarding process. Here we can schedule a Zoom call to assist our Latino agents with filling out, completing, and submitting their applications. Second, once you've attended the live agent startup sessions with the onboarding desk team, as Dianne mentioned, we can take a deeper dive into your EXP platforms, links, tools, and resources, like going over Enterprise, Workplace, VersaPay, My EXP 3.0, EXP University, and so much more. In the third key area of assistance, we will show you how to access all the trainings EXP now offers in Spanish and Español, as well as all the training options provided by your state broker team. So for example, we now offer the Agent Essentials Aspectos Esenciales classes in Spanish every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is a live class that teaches you how to access and make the most of your KV Core website and your SkySlope transaction platforms. And here, we also share key information and resources for lead generation and accelerating your commissions when closing your transactions. The fourth, but definitely not the last area of support, translation and interpretation support. Here, we share Spanish language resources with our Latino agents and also provide interpretation and translation assistance for departments without Spanish-speaking staff.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, Derek. There are so many updates for our bilingual agents. So let's do a quick recap of everything. We have so many trainings in Spanish. We've got the live agent startup sessions in Spanish kicking off March 28th with Amy and Betty, plus Aspectos Esenciales, what you just announced, which is our Agent Essentials training. It's so exciting to see so many resources available to support our EXP agents.
And Dianne, not only that, right, but we're offering live bilingual assistance to our EXP agents. So please, everyone, remember that your new Expert Care Desk bilingual department is available with our amazing bilingual colleagues to assist you, myself, Yanni, Stephanie, and also Caitlin on the French side of things will be ready to help you with any concerns or questions about EXP and your real estate business. We want to thank you all for inviting us to this amazing BAM event. See you at our Spanish training events and the new Expert Care Desk bilingual department in EXP World.
Eso es. And all this is just making sure our bilingual agents start strong and they get the support that they need. And as you know, at EXP, we live by our famous phrase, you asked, we delivered. Well, you guys, thank you so much. That is it from us. Don't forget to scan the QR code to save this presentation for reference. Help us spread the word, register to our sessions. We can't wait to even see you in the EXP events with our regional rallies coming up. And of course, at EXPCon in Miami this year. Hasta luego, EXP family, and enjoy the rest of the big agent meeting. Bye.
All right, there you go. Onboarding keeps getting bigger, better, stronger, faster. They've got systems in place that are making things easier and onboarding people at ridiculously fast rates more often now than not, which is pretty amazing. So that team has been doing a wonderful job. Thank you for everything you guys do in onboarding, for Krista Pacheco, her team, Nicole Alderman, her team, and everybody else working in onboarding. You guys have been doing an amazing job. Super proud of what you guys have been doing. All right, so there you go. Last but not least, we have Lofty with Brian Hoialman. Brian is going to be talking about what Lofty brings to the table. If you don't know what Lofty is, check this out. Brian, take it away.
Hi, everybody. This is Brian Hoialman, and I'm here with Adam Gillespie and Ernest Enriquez. Adam is an agent on EXP and a user of Lofty. I'm the CSO of Lofty, and I have Ernest Enriquez. He's also has multiple teams on Lofty. So welcome, guys. I'm looking forward to talking a little bit about Lofty and what it means to your business. If you guys, any questions or anything like that you have for me, let me know. But Adam, let's take it off with you. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick to the group?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Adam Gillespie. I'm your resident AI and CRM geek, and I just love everything to do with the Lofty platform and the way that the CRM can help us level up as agents.
And Ernest, how about yourself? I know you've been with EXP and using technology for a long time. Go ahead and let it rip for you too as a team leader.
Yeah, my name's Ernest Enriquez. I'm a team lead, dual licensed in both Washington and Texas, have teams in both states, and been with EXP since 2016. So
great. And I know that my background as a CSO, I've been in here for 20 years. I've used pretty much every piece of technology, been a part of the vendor relationship for EXP for over 13 years now, working with them as an original vendor relationship all the way through. And now with Lofty, looking forward to expanding our relationship. So Adam, as an agent, what would you say as an agent is your biggest, I hate to say value, but I really like to talk more about specifics. What is the one thing that you feel that Lofty empowers, not from the standard technology we always hear, oh, everybody offers a CRM, everybody kind of offers. What is the thing that you like best that differentiates your experience with Lofty compared to maybe other things people have used that you think has the biggest impact for you as an agent?
Yeah, I think Lofty is single-handedly the best all-in-one CRM suite we've ever witnessed in the real estate industry, where a lot of the other CRMs are lacking in certain functions or charging a little bit extra to get access to certain functions. Lofty did an amazing job of bringing it all in. And with the tech-forward thinking and the AI innovation inside of the platform, it's a fully automated system. Like it takes a little bit to dial it in, but once you have it dialed in, I mean, this thing will generate over 6 figures a year for you just on autopilot.
When you say autopilot, one more question related to that. When you say autopilot, what would you say is really, when you say that, I mean, it's one thing to say, we talk about AI, right? And all the ability. So if I always make this analogy as agents, we don't have time to follow up. We don't have time to do lead gen. We don't have time to show. We don't have time to do we don't have time to take our kids to anything because we have to be like juggle 17 jobs to do business, right? And one of the things, like I'm in the kitchen right now, you have to make lunch, you have to do stuff, right? I'm in real estate and we all are in some ways. What would you say that automation you're talking about, is it really the automation of all the thousands of leads that you don't have time to watch that allows you to do your job more? Or is it more on the content on the CRM when it comes to drip campaigns and back-end content? What do you think? What is your vision of the automation that works best for you?
Yeah, so I'm speaking of the automation as in what's available to us inside the Lofty platform with the automatic text, the automatic emails. I mean, we even have the automatic sending out like direct mailers. So what I try to tell people is like, we need to learn how to dial these automations. And so we can take our clients down each specific journey based on how they come into the CRM. And where most people go wrong with CRMs is they throw their leads into it right out the gate. And they're like, okay, now where do I place everybody? And if you think about it in a real estate aspect, it's like, well, we don't move people onto the lot before we build the house, right? So we have to build that house first. And then when you bring the people into it, we know exactly what directions they're going. So I'm a huge fan of extreme long-term nurturing that's based on education and information and not psychological sales tactics. And that's what's resulted in, if I don't have time to call my leads, at least I know there's an auto text campaign set up that'll recycle every 60 days. I know that there's an auto email drip campaign that's giving them information about the process of purchasing a home. And then if I don't have time to make those touches in between, they'll still drip out of my funnel because I'm the only agent left nurturing them after, with your typical internet lead that doesn't even pull the trigger within the first year and a half. So it's really taking that perspective of, I'm going to load this CRM up with as many people as I can, but I'm going to have journeys for each and individual one. So that way it's a tailored, personalized experience. And Lofty brings that to the table in one system without having to go out to other platforms, which is why I think that this is the number one for real estate agents.
And the last question I have for you before I get into teams, before we run short on time, I want to make sure that we really focus on, as an agent, juggling 17 and think about golf, right? You had a golf analogy. You have all the different golf equipment you can buy, and none of it necessarily makes you a better golfer. But I think that Lofty, as a rule of thumb, offers the best tech stack to make agents better agents. than any tech stack that's out there. Really, in the minds of the consumer, more important, and in the ability to market. Also, really to save money. So here with an EXP and agents watching this, they're not having to pay full price for a Lofty system. They're getting the full Lofty systems for thousands of dollars left. Can you speak to a little bit about how you're able to save money and apply that money to lead gen in Lofty or marketing services in Lofty and those types of things?
Yeah, absolutely. With EXP bringing Lofty to us for only $40 a month and then 10 additional dollars for your vanity domain, which is your website name. Like, it's insane the amount of savings that you get compared to paying a full rip on Lofty, which is like $399 a month, or even like, I don't want to name any other CRMs out there, but some of them are $1,500 a month. You know what I mean? So, and they're clunky and they don't really work right. One of my favorite parts about Lofty is the customer experience that we're able to provide via the Closely app, via all of the AI integrations, the lead scoring, all of this stuff. So when I switched to Lofty, the first thing I did was reach out to my entire database and tell them that, hey, I've improved your experience with me by leveling up my system. So unlike most CRMs, which are just background, Lofty's got this to where we can bring it forefront to the client, simplify their process of searching for a home and interacting with us. And I leverage that to the max with my clients, and they love it.
Great. So in the next 4 minutes, I want to talk teams. So as a rule of thumb group, and for you, Ernest, as a team leader in multiple markets, I won't get in, but Lofty could support multiple teams under the Lofty, under the EXP system without having to spend thousands of dollars on a team platform. So talk about a little bit as a team leader, the amount of money you can save running your Lofty systems in multiple markets as a team leader. And then we're going to echo more not on the agent empowerment part, but more on the lead gen routing and accountability you have as a leader. Can you talk a little bit about that because you run teams, but they're very hands-off team leader. They just kind of do their thing and you just manage from afar, right, Ernest?
Yeah, so I'm really kind of the lead funnel guy, right? So they see me as the kind of the breadwinner, the one that's putting the bread on the table for them. As far as the team lead goes, I'm the one out there generating all the leads, funneling them into all their CRMs, and letting basically Lofty do its thing, which is follow up, nurture, and convert those leads into opportunities for my agents. What I've seen in previous tech stacks, not to name names, but it's really kind of a penny pinch or a nickel and dime process where they want to charge you $1,500 for each market, right? And Lofty's given me the ability to scale in multiple markets with one team website, with multiple add-ons, and really kind of create this hierarchy within the EXP enterprise level account so that I can go ahead and scale my team in multiple markets, have multiple team websites, have all the SEO functions, and have my agents on my team be the most efficient agents.
Yeah, and you brought up SEO, and one of the things that a lot of agents can chase that mythical unicorn of SEO, right? But what people don't understand, I think, about Lofty is Lofty has the most dynamic SEO in the space. It has a full SEO AI-driven engine in the back end of their full brand sites that are all available at a massive discount. Then I would say probably the lowest cost full SEO custom option that team leaders as well as even agents like Adam can do. So I know, Ernest, you saw a massive increase in your SEO when you switched to Lofty from maybe the other tech stacks in the market. Can you talk a little bit about that? We have probably maybe 2 minutes left.
Yeah, absolutely. So with a previous provider, I was getting a website, which was a decent website, but the problem was that it wasn't indexing, right? It was blocked, whatever the case might be. It just wasn't indexing on Google Search Console. And a lot of people who don't understand SEO don't realize that that's actually happening and that they're being throttled. So one of the really nice things about Lofty is as soon as I made that switch, I think within 30 days, I saw 46,000 pages starting to be indexed, which they started indexing all the listing properties, all my landing pages, all my blogs, everything that I was throwing onto my Lofty website started getting indexed. And the best thing was Lofty's AI SEO assistant. So as I was looking at these things, it was actually giving me optimization recommendations. So I didn't need to go buy platforms like SEMrush or any of those other third parties to tell me what I'm doing wrong. It was all there within the Lofty platform.
Exactly. So we're out of time here for everybody listening in. What I'd like to say to everybody here is if you're a major broker moving to EXP, or if you're multiple teams and you have thousands of dollars in tech stack and you're looking to work with EXP on the ability to lower your costs, but expand your reach. And that's what every agent and team needs. I need to expand my reach into more ecosystems, more social, more lead gen, more than just Google, more than just Zillow. And if you want to grow a team or really build out a full hyper-local SEO marketing system for pennies on the dollar compared to independent outside of the system, the last thing I'll say is under EXP, this system is fully independent and private. So our ecosystem is not something that you're sharing data up, and you can always take your Lofty system with you. So you're really getting a very dynamic, independent private system at the team and agent level that is really simplifying your world and expanding your ability to reach and create relationships. And that's all I have to say. I would like to turn it over one more time to say thank you, Adam, for coming here. Great content. And Ernest, thanks for your valuable insight as well. Take a look at Lofty. If you have any questions, go to lofty.com. Look forward to seeing everybody at EXP at the next adventure. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. If you didn't know what Lofty was before, now you know what Lofty's all about. So great stuff coming to you and being provided by EXP. Make sure you make that connection with Brian and his team. Super great stuff. All right, next up, we got a quick clip for you guys. I don't know if you've heard the rumors, but EXP FastCap is being done Español style. Check it out.
Exciting news, everyone. We are so excited that we will be launching FastCap en Español starting on April 30th. And joining us at our kickoff, we will have Leo Pareja and many other instructors. And, well, let's introduce them to you now.
Hola, soy Vane Monroe, soy EXP México y estoy muy emocionada porque formo parte del FastCap en español. Así que no quiero que te quedes fuera. Regístrate aquí abajo en el enlace y nos vemos el 30 de abril.
Hola, soy Michelle Martín y soy muy emocionada de invitarlos al FastCap en español empezando el 30 de abril. Regístrense ahora, no esperen.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Es Marta Meléndez. Muy contenta de ser parte de FastCap en español. Vamos a empezar abril 30. Regístrate. Adiós.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Moisés Rosales, emocionado por estar aquí con ustedes en el FastCap EXP, listos para aprender cómo empezar su negocio, cómo empujarlo al siguiente nivel. Vénganse para acá para ayudarles a empezar el nuevo futuro de su negocio.
Hola, Rosy Rodríguez, súper emocionada porque tenemos el programa FastCap. ¿Qué van a aprender? Las presentaciones, marketing, sistemas, contratos, presentaciones, todo en español. El primer programa en español para ustedes. ¡Woo! Estamos aquí todos súper emocionados por el programa de FastCap, que va a ser en español. Ya tenemos este programa en inglés, pero por primera vez va a ser el primer programa en español para todos los agentes inmobiliarios, todos los realtors, en nuestro lenguaje. Rebeca, dinos, ¿por qué estás tan emocionada tú? O sea, ¿qué le ves el valor?
Bueno, creo que el valor es grande porque sabemos que hay muchos latinos que necesitan aprender en su lenguaje. Esto es algo que no se ha visto mucho en otras empresas y creo que es muy valiosa y nos va a ayudar a llegar al próximo nivel. Así que estoy súper emocionada por esto. También para nuestros compañeros que hablan inglés. If you are English speaking, this is important for you too. If you have an agent in your organization, in your team that needs more training, this training is what they need to tap into to help them go to the next level. So make sure that everyone that you know is registered. And by the way, I use this as attraction as well. This is a great attraction piece because as I speak to people and I tell them about our 6-week course that we have in English y ahora en español, this is exciting stuff that people want to register. They look forward to joining EXP so they can take our classes. So let's use it. Vamos a usarlo.
Recuérdense, todo lo que hacemos los latinos lo hacemos con sabor, así que apúntense en FastCap y vámonos.
All right, so there you go, EXP, taking business to the next level. So if you are Spanish speaking, know somebody Spanish speaking, FastCap Español is for you. I hope you guys are able to take your business to the next level. I'm so glad we're able to provide that and get that going in EXP. I love that we're always trying to help everybody we can, the best we can across the companies. So there you go. There is the show for today, March 21st. We got a lot of amazing things going, a lot of amazing directions. I hope you guys have the ability to dig into some of the things that you saw today, and I hope you make the rest of this this week and this weekend, an amazing weekend. Enjoy some downtime with your family, get some quiet time, recharge your batteries. And in the meantime, check out the NPS QR code. So open up your phones, open up your camera and hit the QR code. Let us know how we're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. What are you thinking about what we're doing here at Big Agent Meeting? We've got a lot of things we're doing a little different, trying to find the right sauce for you guys to take this show to the next level. So there you go, QR code, last up. All right, so last but not least, that's all for this week. Stay tuned for iConversations coming up next. I'll see you guys next week.